Its official name came in many forms before landing with the current handle. Back as far as 1873, businessmen gathered together as the Board of Trade. The business leaders of the day finally settled on the OACCT Chamber of Commerce in 1946. That same year, the newly formed chamber hired Harold Bina as full-time paid executive secretary.
He come over to me, because I was a good friend of Harold's, and he wanted to sign me up for the Chamber of Commerce. I says they don't have any. They says they have as of now. Well, gee, back in those days, I said, how much? And I forget the price he quoted me, but I got him down to $25 anyway.
It was the very next year, in 1946, that Steve Feil was named the first president of the Chamber Board of Directors, and in 47, the Chamber was officially incorporated. That first Board of Directors, comprised of the business leaders of the time, put their thoughtful vision on paper, creating a strong foundation for the Chamber and a bedrock for the business community.
Because he felt that the Chamber was the big promoter for Owatonna. That was the Chamber's job, was to promote Owatonna, the industrial part of it, the business, people downtown, retail, and commercial.
Junior Clark was hired in 1958 as the Chamber's second executive secretary. At that time, the Chamber was located on Main Street in the former county courthouse, what is now a Federated Insurance parking lot. 10 years later, Junior left to work at a chamber in DeKalb, Illinois, and turned the scissors over to Ted Ringhofer.
And Ted was so instrumental in my being involved in the chamber. Duffy before me was involved, and then I kind of transitioned into that. But as far as being on the board and ultimately being chairman of the board the 1 year would not have happened without Ted's encouragement and support.
For the next 29 years, Ted was the face of the chamber. He was known as the ultimate promoter for the area. This was a long and prosperous stretch of time for the Owatonna area and the chamber. One promotional piece reads, Owatonna, city of diversified industry, satisfied citizens. Boasting 23 national firms, including many who are still succeeding today. Wenger, Federated, Gandy, General Equipment, Jostens, Muckle, Owatonna Canning, and Truth, to name a few. The chamber played a strong role during this time of prosperity. The Bridge Street interchange was a defining issue.
But it was controversial because the people at the west side did not want it. There was no retail business on the east side. There was the Truth Tool. We used to call Truth Tool in those days, was on the northeast quadrant. The southeast quadrant was Cashman property. Bob Cashman had a greenhouse, and Terry Cashman had an office and a warehouse facility there. And that was it. So the people, the bucolic lifestyle they lived, they did not want. At that time, they didn't think any of this so-called progress.
In the mid-'80s, an effort driven by the Board of Directors paid off with construction of a new chamber building.
We opened the bids for the building. The bids came in 50% higher than what the architect estimated. So at that point, to show you the resolve of this community and this chamber, we went back to the membership and asked them for 1.5 times their dues. And almost to a person, they all went, yeah, we want to do this, we want to make it happen, we want a new shining star for the community of Owatonna.
New programs like chamber gift certificates and business after hours were born.
This enhancement to the value of the membership, particularly for retail. We were keeping those dollars here in Owatonna, and with industry and some of the other businesses who did safety program incentives and sales incentives and holiday gifts to employees and that sort of thing, that we could encourage the use of those.
Under a new roof and armed with programs the members wanted, Ringhofer and the board led the economic development efforts. They worked on city issues and were well known at the state level. Following in Ted's position were Jonathan Ziert and Lisa Purvis, each working 3 years as president. Today, the Chamber, built on a solid past, has 600 members and is recognized with 4-star accreditation from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Main Street business, service, retail, and industry all support a unified business voice.
The Chamber of Commerce is important for Cybex, and the reason we continue to be active members in it is because it really is a great voice for business. It's really looking at what's great for businesses, because what's great for businesses is great for employees, is great for the community, is great for the retail population, and it really, really does espouse all the beliefs of capitalism that we all hold near and dear.
Harold, with all his enthusiasm, too, would say, what you do for yourself dies with you, but what you do for your community lives forever. Amen.
Only as strong as the members who support it, it was built by business to last, celebrating 60 years of the Owatonna Chamber.